G'day guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be doing some Q&A for some AFL questions once again. So yeah, apologies, Thursday night I went for a bit of a kick at the footy. Usually got a bit of volleyball going on, but school holidays are in the swing of things. So yeah, then I watched a movie and then I was like, I think there's something I need to do, and I've completely forgot about it. So anyway, no better time than now. Luke, first one, cap off the rank. We have a favourite game this round, so that would be for round 15 of the season. Very hard to go past Geelong and Richmond. Obviously, I was there live, and Cats fan also helps that out. If I would pick a game that's not Geelong related, I think the Port Adelaide Gold Coast one was definitely a bit of a clincher. You know, only a couple of points in it, and Carlton played some brutal footy. But yeah, I mean, universally accepted. I think, yeah, Geelong and Richmond was replayed on Wednesday night, so happy to go with that one. Who do I think will finish 8th and 9th on the ladder this year? It'd be probably, I feel like it's going to be like a Collingwood St Kilda sort of situation. They did win, obviously, last night, which helps them out a lot. They simply had to win. The season was on the line. But yeah, I would probably be leaning towards those teams, just having a look through the rest now. Port Adelaide might be able to sneak into 9th or 8th. Yeah, it's going to very largely depend on, can teams win the games they should win, and yeah, teams that might have to play out their skins and cause some upsets to scrape over the line and rely on other teams to lose as well. Who do I think has been the coach of the year so far this year? Well, it's pretty cut and dry for myself in terms of the top two. Would be probably Justin Longmuir and also Michael Voss. I'll probably go Vossi, just purely on the fact that Carlton have been, battered for a long time, and they've made finals I think once in the last 10 or so years. Freo obviously were able to make finals, make a grand final, as well as be minor premiers in 2015. So I feel like they've obviously had their chance. They didn't quite, they went out in straight sets in 2014. So they had their 3-year sort of chance at it. And I just feel like Carlton they've just had no answers for so long, and Vossi's come along, and straight away there's just results, and straight away there's crazy standards, and just a real appetite to play, and been really consistent. So I'll go Vossi on that front. Got a few big sections here to carve through. Jared, rules you would add to take away from the AFL. Example, remove the 10-metre protected area zone or lessen it to 25 metres instead of 50. What do you think about the send-off rule, like red card in soccer? So I'll answer this one first. We're not soccer, and I don't think we have the use case to warrant needing a red card. I think we've got some more inquiries going down around that. I think we've had maybe two or so incidents in the last 4 or 5 years that have warranted something where it's like, oh, you're going to miss significant time anyway, and that's what the MRO does. Yeah, and we've got a sub, which I don't really believe in many sub anyway, but that use case helps to offset the impact of a player that can't play anymore for that game. I just think the 10-metre protected zone only gets adjudicated when it suits the umpire, when they've got time to make a decision. The Goulden one on Tim Membry was absolutely horrific and just terrible. I think it should be like don't implement the rule at all, or make it 5 metres or literally a couple of metres if there's no players like right next to them. I think, yeah, it's a bit of a common sense one, but I don't want a grand final decided on a protected zone free kick. Basically, any rule could impact a big game, or any game really. Do you want that rule to be what could decide a grand final and give the wrongful team the win? There is no real wrong winner. You either win or you don't. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that one, Jared. I personally think it's ridiculously high price to pay for something that's open to more interpretation, grey area for umpires to get it wrong. Don't make the job don't make their job any harder. Yeah, agree with you there. This is coming off the Stewart incident on Prestia, but it might be worth looking into other sports rules next season, even though we don't want to make the umpire's job harder. It should only be brought in after deep consideration for the health of the game. And coming from a massive Geelong Cats fan, Stewart's 4-match ban was about right. If the AFL wants to stamp out bumps and concussions because of the said bump, AFL needs to be consistent on this, and not any player get away with bumps that lead to injury, concussions, and the sorts. And set example for the rest of the competition. Anyway, rant over. Go Cats. Love listening to your review of the Geelong Cats game. You have a good view of the game and how it went, so keep up the good work. Thanks, Jared. Muchly appreciated. Thanks for your questions. And thank you as well for yours, Luke. Studi, hey mate, sorry if I was rude in the comments of your Geelong review. I was pretty angry with my Tigers going down with what Stewart did. It's a tough game, that's for sure. It's a tough game. Do you think the AFL should implement the send-off rule? So as per Jared's one, I don't think we need to copy other sports. Our game's unique. I don't think we have players that, maybe in the 80s or the 70s and the 80s where you get players, king hitting off the ball and that kind of stuff. I don't think we see enough of it. So you see the gaff in the Brayshaw incident, that could be a send-off rule where it was deliberately malicious. Stewart's, I think it was more a misjudgment and a terrible execution of it more than Stewart going, I'm going to line Prestia up and knock him out here. I don't think that was his initial intention. But hopefully it means players just... I can't recall a time where a legal bump was such a good part of the game and helped a team out. Like, tackles are what get you going. So, shepherding's fine. And I wish players did it more. If they don't shepherd, they're lazy and selfish because they want the ball. They don't want to do the hard stuff. Some players do shepherd, not many though. Don't see it often enough. So no, I don't think that it needs to be a send-off rule. If we see an uptick in acts like that lead to severe outcomes, then absolutely. But 2 in the last 5 years, don't think we really need it. I think it's what the MRO sort of solves. You'll do the act in the moment, and then you'll copy right whack. Do you think there should be a wildcard round before the first week of the finals? I think it should be 7th versus 10th. And 8th versus 9th in a wildcard round before finals to decide the final 2 finalists, so teams that miss out on the 8 who are probably good enough to be there, such as potentially St Kilda, Gold Coast, Richmond and Western Bulldogs, are still a chance. No, and I think that's another NBA initiative. I'm not sure. It sounds like that's something an American sport does. Again, I'm very traditional in terms of, if you're good enough to make finals, you'll make it. It's not going to be unfortunate. There's probably 12 teams at the moment that could win the flag. However, that's why you have to be good enough to win enough games early on, and just be as consistent as you can be. There's a reason why you are in the top 8 and you finish in the top 8 is because you've been good enough against enough teams. You could play it to 50 rounds. There's still going to be an unfortunate slot of teams there that are going to miss the 8, and that's mathematics. There's only 8 teams that can make finals, and if you're good enough to make it, you will. If you're not, maybe next time, maybe next year. If you were an AFL player, what number would you choose to wear if you could pick any number? Probably my top 3 would be like 8, 3 and 5. There's some definitely like the low numbers. 25 is a good one as well. But yeah, I'd probably pick number 8. The 8 ball. Is there any new rules that you would like to add to the AFL? For me, other than the send-off rule, I think a rule called 50 or 2 shots at goal should be implemented. For example, a player was, say, 40 metres out of goal or at least within range to have a shot at goal. If the opposition give away 50, they can either choose to take the 50 or kick an easy goal, or have 2 shots on goal, which gives them the potential to score 2 goals out of it, or they could miss twice, which would backfire. I'd just like them to get better at the current rules, so I just like holding the ball to be adjudicated appropriately. If a player has prior and doesn't get rid of it legally, it's easily holding the ball. The push in the back rule, they've really... But because players dive a bit when they get tackled, that they just don't get the rule right. Maybe they just get rid of it and players can get trampled in the back. I don't know, but that rule there, I think, if you get 50 metres, you get, whether you're 2 metres out or 50 metres out, you'll still get 50. I don't know about having 2 shots on goal. I know there's definitely instances at 09 grand final. There's probably been other games where you'll have either you punch in the crowd or you time waste. I think Melbourne gave away 2 goals on halftime. I think, didn't give away, but it was verbal abuse with the umpire. Kaczynski kicked a goal and Melbourne claimed he touched it, and then they got another shot in front of goal. So I think we were 2 goals up, and then we ended up being a goal behind at halftime in the space of a couple of minutes. And we've seen, I think, in the past, Rance or other players have punched it through after it's gone through for goals, and it's another shot at goal. That's fine. I don't think it needs to be as crazy as 2 shots at goal, but it will warrant it when it's needed. What are the thoughts on the rule? So you mentioned that one. A couple of weeks ago, you said I should ask more positive questions, so I'll do a better job this time. Absolutely, mate. 3 votes. So, happy with these types of questions. Ones that it sort of spark some good discussion. Not too keen on the negative Nancy stuff. So this lot of questions much better, mate. So keep up the good work. Darren, do you think that Geelong supporters should be coming into this weekend's match against North Melbourne with the attitude that we're going to win by 10 goals, especially given that we only get a 5-day break before we play Melbourne the following Thursday night and may have to hold back a bit prior to that match? I didn't think about the 5-day break. It's gonna be a real challenge. I think we definitely have good experience with the 5-day break from 2020. I'm sure a number of other clubs also know what it's all about. It's a funny game. We could win by 8 goals, could win by 80 points. You dare say we'll see a fair portion where we'll have our momentum and put on the scoreboard, and then it could be some really boring components of the game where we just conserve energy more than anything. I think that's what we do with some of these games at home, where we do enough to get the win and a little bit of percentage. But I think we should win by minimum 7-8 goals. Every team's been winning by 10 goals, but then every team was beating West Coast by 70, 80 points, and then we play them and win by 3 goals. So a bit different over there, a bit different after the bye, and some really key players back. But also, North are under so much pressure as well. So they've got literally nothing to lose. They're playing with absolute freedom, potentially. We'll see. But, I don't think it's an automatic 10-goal win. It should be a comfortable enough win, though, irrespective of anything. So, thanks, Studi and Darren for the questions there. And Shannon with the final one. Favourite Essendon Bombers players and favourite Fremantle players? Historically, I love the Pav, and historically, I love Scotty Lucas. You can say I love the key forwards there, and centre-half forwards more specifically. Modern day, definitely a big fan of Nat Fyfe. I've liked Paul Duffield back in the day. I thought he was pretty reliable. Fyfe's super strong. He's tough. He's great mark overhead, and love the way he goes about it. From the Bombers' perspective, it's not. I feel like there's just not as many exciting players going on at the Bombers, but I've always been a fairly fan of Hurley, and Ridley's a good player to watch. I think he's pretty reliable and pretty tough customer. I was nearly going to say Jake Stringer, but I wouldn't say he's a favourite of mine. Heppel's super reliable. Hind loves to have a crack. Zach Merritt's pretty handy to watch on. So, I'd probably be leaning towards Hurley and Ridley. Unfortunately, Hurley's been out of action for quite some time, but all in good time anyway. So thanks, Shannon. And thanks all for your questions. A bit of a longer one today. We had a couple of questions thrown in, so it was good to have a crack at those and answer your guys' questions. And once again, I appreciate you guys asking those, and I'll put out this post probably tomorrow, I'd say, and answer some more for you next week and chuck it up and just rinse and repeat. So appreciate you guys' questions and watching the video. So don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Enjoy the weekend of footy, and I'll see you guys on the next video.